Alright, I'm going to be replacing the RP602z330c IC chip. I had a short on the Vsys line, and I found that when I extracted this IC chip, the short went away. This chip has been reballed. The plastic casing is a little damaged, and I hated to use it, but it was the only one I had. It's a brand new IC chip, but the first time I installed it, something happened and I still had a Vsys short. So I'm thinking I misaligned it, or a solder ball squeezed out and bridged underneath the chip. But anyway, there's not a good indication for alignment for this IC chip. As far as I could tell, if someone else out there viewing knows where the alignment mark is, please let me know. I see a little green dot on the lower right of the chip. That might be it right there. But anyway, I looked at some photographs and lined it up as precisely as I could based on, the reference of the photos that were online of this IC chip. I had a lot of problems, getting it where I wanted it to be there, so it took me a little while. And sometimes when I tried to make a small adjustment in the chip position, I ended up knocking it way out of alignment and kind of having to start over again. Once I hit it with some hot air, it went into place fairly quickly, though. Yeah, right there is one of the times when I tried to make a small move and totally messed it up. It looks like the top of the chip lines up to that gap in the trace right there above and on the top right corner pretty closely. And if you put the left side of the chip about where the large inductor is, line it up left side, I think that gets you close. So then you have top, bottom, left, right. After reviewing some photos, I decided that I didn't quite have it in position. I needed to go over to the right further. It looks like that would put that lower right corner dead center in that green circle mark that's on the PC board. So I'm kind of thinking that is the alignment mark for the corner. So if that's the case, you can just make the chip parallel to the component underneath it, that large inductor, if you get that corner on the circle. Alright, now I'm getting ready to apply some hot air. I use the Atten ST862D hot air rework station. I'm set on 480 degrees Celsius, 12% airflow. I'm not real experienced with installing these little IC chips or micro soldering. I just kind of got into it here recently, so I'm trying to learn how much heat I can use without destroying these chips, and how to know when the chip has positioned itself correctly. Like right there, I saw the chip move, and I believe that's when it seated correctly into its location. At this time, I decided to make sure that the chip is on the board solid. Just gently put a little bit of pressure on it with tweezers and made sure that it was soldered down good, and it was not gonna come loose from the board. Alright, I checked the short with continuity test, and the short is gone, so I must have got the chip positioned right this time. The photo that we're looking at right now is the original RP602z330c chip, and you can see in the lower left hand region it looks discolored, like, you know, it was overheated. So I believe I had the right component, but somehow whenever I went to install the new part, something went wrong. Anyway, it looked like it works this time, but I still have a few more IC chips to put on the board that I took off while I was trying to find this short before I'll be able to give it a full test.